Nancy teases Ned, saying she had a really heavy date while he was gone. It's all a joke, but still. She cheated on him over 5 times in the past 10 books. She should not joke about cheating.
Argo Funk Book Review. Argo Funk Book Review.
Nancy and Ned are going to be the bridesmaid and groomsmen at the wedding of Angela Chamberlain. Angela is a fashion designer who's going to inherit millions of dollars when she turns 21 next year. George and Hannah agree that Angela's fiancé, Rafe, is probably a gold digger who only cares about her money. Wow, I wouldn't expect George and Hannah to be so judgmental about some guy they've never met. As for Angela's parents, her father died 2 years ago. His business partner, Howard Tremaine, quickly married his wealthy widow. It sounds like he's the real gold digger here, marrying a rich woman who's on her deathbed. Angela calls, asking Nancy to come early. This worries Nancy so much, Ned's kisses don't thrill her like they usually do. There's a nice dinner where she meets everyone, and I realized this is the second time Nancy has solved a New York wedding mystery for a fashion designer. Huh. In private, Angela explains she received 2 threatening messages. One is broken china, along with a picture of her face scribbled out with red marker. The other is a more direct threat on her life. It says her fiancé, Rafe, is secretly in love with someone else. The next day, they all go horseback riding. Angela's saddle breaks, and she falls off. She's not badly injured, but it looks like someone purposely cut the straps on her saddle in an attempt to kill her. 8 chapters later, Nancy goes to the horse stable to investigate. I have no idea why she doesn't investigate right away. Since she waited so long, the saddle and the groomsmen are no longer there, meaning this investigation is a waste of time. Nancy forces Angela to tell Rafe about the threats. Rafe immediately identifies the threats as coming from his crazy ex-girlfriend, Shannon Mulcahy. She's gorgeous, jealous, and possessive. She made multiple death threats when she first heard about the engagement. Angela is all, "Why didn't you tell me about Shannon earlier? You must still be in love with her." And he's all, "Why don't you believe what I'm saying? Why don't you love me?" They both get mad and leave. It's like a scene from a soap opera. Nancy spends an entire chapter trying to find Shannon, but she doesn't. That's another useless investigation chapter. Nancy is not good at investigating today. The soap opera ramps up when Shannon appears. This is her only scene, and she makes the most of it. She crashes a party so she can publicly threaten Angela. She says, "Call off the wedding! Oh man, Rafey Poo is still in love with me!" And did I mention her current boyfriend is right there? He tries to punch Rafe, only Ned tackles him, and Shannon dumps him in front of everybody. Angela is so upset she cancels the wedding. Suddenly, Nancy and Ned's relationship seems stable and secure. As Shannon runs away, she says she'll be waiting at Rocky Point at midnight. That's an abandoned pier near a remote cliffside road. It sounds like she's planning to reenact the murder from I Know What You Did Last Summer. Nancy sees Angela and Howard leave for the pier shortly before midnight. Nancy makes the boring decision not to follow them. Nancy and Ned go to the pier the next day. They are shocked to find Angela's dead body. A second look reveals that it's Shannon. She's still alive, but barely. The culprit smashed her in the back of the head, then pushed her body off the pier. She is in a coma, and we never learned what happens to her afterwards. I hope she recovers. She was the best part of the book. Angela claims she spent the whole night with Rafe. Howard says, he followed Angela for a bit, but then he lost track of her, so he spent the whole night wandering around aimlessly. Nancy accepts this as a rock-solid alibi with no holes whatsoever. Seriously, Nancy? Shannon and Angela look similar, especially if it's midnight and you're looking at them from behind. Nancy realizes the culprit didn't want to kill Shannon. The culprit was trying to kill Angela. Nancy is super confused, though, because nobody has a motive for killing Angela. Nancy talks to her dad. He says if Angela dies before the wedding, all her inheritance goes to her mom. Nancy takes this as proof nobody has a motive for killing Angela. This scene made me want to bang my head against the wall. What does she mean? There's no motive. Angela's slimy stepfather has a perfect motive. If she dies, he gets all her millions. It's a very clear motive. Howard is the culprit. He gives himself away as the culprit when he mentions a detail that only somebody who was at the crime scene would know about. Nancy is sleepy today, so it takes her a chapter to realize his slip-up. Nancy's still confused about the motive, though. Howard has to explain it to her using small words that she can understand. Howard tries to kill Nancy on the pier. He's holding her by the arm. She purposely stumbles to make him fall down, then she knocks him out with a karate throw. While Nancy and Ned call the police, Howard wakes up. He tries to hit Nancy with a car, but she dodges. He crashes down the hill and into some rocks. Fortunately, Nancy had a tape recorder running in her pocket the whole time. She put it in her pocket 3 chapters ago and forgot about it. Well, she recorded the confession. That's more than enough evidence to get Howard arrested. At the wedding, Nancy and Ned kiss as they promise to start the new year right. The end. Post-book follow-up. I was entertained by all the romance drama of this book. It's over the top, but it's fun. The back cover is not accurate in its description of the drama. It suggests there are 3 reasons to suspect Rafe is cheating on Angela, when it's just the one note. Similarly, the cover claims a series of near-fatal accidents happened before the attempted murder. No, just the one accident. It would have spiced up the book if there was a second murder attempt in the first part. I kind of want to read a summary, accurate version of the book where there's 2 to 3 times as much drama. The mystery isn't good. Nancy's investigation is little more than 2 chapters where she tries and fails to find someone she wants to talk to. Nancy's official suspect list is bad. It has guy who only appears once, Rafe, who's not even in the second half of the book, and Angela, who's the victim. Meanwhile, Howard has a great motive and opportunity, yet Nancy ignores him as a suspect. I figured out Howard was the culprit long before that point. Many other reviewers complained the culprit was too obvious, and Nancy came across as extremely dumb for not understanding his motive. Overall, I liked the book. Ned was pretty good this time around. I'm not sure if the book should be improved by fixing up the mystery or by including all the drama that the back cover promises. Both would be good options. I give Nancy Drew Files number 118, Betrayed by Love, a 7 out of 10.